Hey there. Happy New Year. This is our first video, Facebook Live I've done this year. So I want to wish you a Happy New Year. Hope all went well. And as you can tell from the title of this Facebook Live, what I'm talking about today is, I don't want to say I'm eating my words, but I am making a revision, if you will, to a movie review I did a couple weeks ago for a movie, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Now, if you go up in the news feed, you'll find that review I did there. And to make it short, I wasn't impressed. I gave it a C, and a lot of people I know also gave it a C. There's been a lot of controversy around the film and whether it should have gotten, whether it was well done and so forth and so on. But the thing I wanted to point out was we were up in Orlando for Christmas week. And one of the things we did was go to the movies. And one thing we noticed was that there's this thing there at the movie theater called Regal. There's a Regal theater. It was called 4DX. 4DX. And, they had the little picture, and they had another picture of someone sitting in a chair like that, you see, and so forth. Hey, Keith. And so I was thinking, okay, what is 4DX? So I got one of the ushers around there to kind of explain what it was. And it sounded really cool. I'm going to tell you what it was in a second. But the catch was the only movie they had that was in 4DX at the time was Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Hey, Benjamin. So I had a question. I said, do I want the experience more than I not want to see that movie again? Well, long story short, we did go see the movie. And let me explain to you what 4DX is. 4DX is a regular theater, but it's called Get Into the Action with Synchronized Motion Seats and Environmental Effects. And basically what happens is they have wind, vibration, rain, lightning, snow, bubbles, water, scents, motion, rainstorm, wind, fog. What basically happened was throughout the movie, when something would happen, let's say a lightsaber went off, you saw a light come out of your seat to the right. Of course, everything moved around as action went on. When someone got knocked on their back, you felt a nudge in your back. When the X-Wings were flying through the air, your seat was flying. I mean, popcorn, there's a lot of people who didn't eat their popcorn because it was all over the place. And the fact that it was such an action-packed movie, which, again, it lended itself perfectly to the 4D effect. Even in some cases where they went to a stinky environment, you started to smell something stinky. I thought that was pretty awesome. But I also had questions about the guy who was sitting next to me. But that's a whole different story. So, when it was raining, you felt the water. When it was windy, you felt the wind. And with all those things going on, it made it a whole different movie experience than even the first time I saw it, which was in 3D by itself. But 4D took it to a whole different level. Now, you might be saying, well, that's nice and good. In Orlando, they have a 4D theater. That's great. What good does that do me now? What good does that do me here? Well, let me tell you. One of the things as we get into the new year that happens is we set goals. We set some people call them resolutions. I encourage you not to call them resolutions because a lot of people abandon resolutions. But we set these goals for the new year. And in some cases, there's things you can do to just heighten the ability of the goal to be met. One of the things you can do is you can write it down. Okay, that's great. Write it down, and then at the end of the year, you can review it again. Let's plus that. What if you wrote it down every day? Well, that takes you to another high level of efficiency and effectiveness. What if you wrote it down every day in the morning before you got going with your day? Well, it was trigger ideas, strategies, and so forth that you could use in the day to get you where you're going. Also, it might keep you on track to decisions that you make. If it's a physical goal, it'll get you to the gym, or maybe make you not go and get that piece of pie or whatever. The other thing is, by doing it first thing in the morning every day, wow, it just embeds it in your brain. It embeds it in your brain. But let's take it one more step further. What if you took some time every day to visualize it? to put yourself into a place of already having achieved the goal. You know, that's exactly what happened in that movie. You were placed in that movie. It was experiential. You felt what they were feeling in the movie. When things were rocky, you were rocking along with it. You were in it. And it made it so much more vivid that a movie that I gave a C, I give an A for the experience of seeing it in 4DX. But guess what? You can see your life in 4DX. And how do you do that? You do that by taking time to visualize having achieved the goals you already have. You know, how are you going to feel when you achieve that goal? Well, how are you going to walk? How are you going to talk? What are people going to say to you? Set mind movies in your brain of what things look like when you've achieved those goals. And I'm telling you, it will drive you. It will assist you. It will support you towards those goals. So yes, by being in the experience, you can take things to a higher level. And over the next couple of days, when I do one of my next Facebook Lives, I'm going to show you a way to make those goals and those dreams more vivid that I've never heard anyone else ever teach. And it blows me away that no one's ever taught this, but I'm going to teach you. So stay tuned. Anyway, if you get a chance to go, and I'm sure they don't have it just in Orlando. They probably have this in other theaters as well. If you get a chance to go and check it out, I encourage you to check it out, even if it's a movie that you didn't like the first time. Because, again, with the experience of it, it might take it to a whole new level. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do in this new decade, is take your goals to a whole new level. Visualize them. It may sound a little flu-flu. Ooh, visualization. I'm telling you, it works. You ask athletes, Olympic athletes, what do? They pre-play things. So many people I've heard talk about success, and they say, did you imagine it would be like this? And by and large, their answer was, yes, I did imagine it. I imagined it every night. I imagined it every practice. I imagined it in those hours where no one was looking, but I was doing those daily disciplines to get me towards my goal. I imagined this moment. So imagine your moment. Have an awesome, beautiful day. And by the way, as always, if you want to know the top 5 movies, because a bunch of movies came out over Christmas. If you want to know the top 5 movies, PG-13 or below, at the theaters right now, inbox me. I will send you the top 5 list right now, and it'll save you some money because there's some clunkers out there too that you don't want to spend money on. So send me an instant message. I will definitely let you know those top 5 at the theater right now. And again, have a blessed, wonderful 2020. You know, people have been talking lately about Vision 2020. Frankly, I've been talking about Vision 2020 for some time now, because I know that this is a year of change, a year that you can choose right now to make this the best year of your life. I encourage you to do so. Send me that message. I'll send you the top 5 best movies out at the theater right now. Have a blessed day.